Hi everyone, my name's Gerard. I'm the Chairman of KGL Resources and I'm joined today with our CEO Sam Strohmayr. I'd like to summarise some of the aspects of our December quarterly report and to take you through some of the achievements at our Jervois Copper-Silver-Gold Project in the Northern Territory. A significant highlight is the progress of our project management process and our enabling works. These enabling works are going to allow us an efficient transition to full construction during this year. The enabling works include things like the accommodation for construction, water supply, civil works and process engineering. We're also working on improvements for our plan, which is extending the open cut and also improving the metal recovery. In terms of the funding, we've been working with our advisors and we've received a number of non-binding indicative offers. We've shortlisted those and we're currently negotiating final terms to progress this, and a little bit more will come out about that soon. In terms of the commodity market, analysts continue to highlight the impact of supply-side constraints, such as lack of historical investment, the time it takes to get approvals, declining grades, and increasing social demands and operational disruptions. All of these limit the industry's response to this growing demand. These pressures are now impacting prices and capital markets, with copper prices rising to supply incentive levels. Our feasibility study in February 2025, metal prices have surged, and at the end of January, copper has increased by 31% to around about $60 per pound, silver by 270% and gold by 110%. Some commodity prices have since retreated, albeit remaining at historic highs. With a strengthening market and supply limitations, the Jervois project is strategically positioned to benefit from favourable pricing and increased investor focus on high-quality, development-ready assets. As the structural deficit grows, our Jervois project stands out as one of the few advanced, approved copper projects ready to move into production. Drawing from my 4 decades of experience in mining and investment, I recognise that there are a few attributes that make a really good project. These include high-grade mineral resource, social licence and regulatory permits, a robust plan and a strong management team. Fortunately with KGL, we're blessed with all 4. The KGL board has significant experience and track record in delivering projects and maintaining operations. Recently, we strengthened the board with the appointment of Lindy De Gara as an independent non-executive director. Lindy adds significant value in terms of governance, legal and commercial aspects. Our project delivery team has been set up. It's led by Conrad Lifkin and supported by professional engineers from the Axiom Group. We've now integrated that team into the KGL management team. We've also established the Project Steering Committee, which has the independent advisors from RCF. Looking ahead to 2026, I'd like to introduce Sam and let him lead us through his views on the project and operations. So over to you, Sam.
Hi everyone, my name is Sam Strohmayr and I've recently joined KGL as CEO. By way of introduction and background, I'm a mineral processing engineer with just over 30 years of experience in the mining industry. I've been involved in technical operations, projects and management roles during that period. And during that time, I've been involved in the startup, operation and expansion of a number of base metal assets, both here in Australia and internationally. In Australia, I've worked on the McArthur River mine in the Northern Territory, Ernest Henry mine in Queensland, the Mount Isa complex in Mount Isa and Townsville, and internationally at the Alumbrera mine in Argentina, in Portugal at a small mine called Aldestrel, and more recently in Peru in senior management roles involved in operations and also mine divestment activities. The bulk of my career has been with MIM, Xstrata and Glencore, and through that experience I've been exposed to large-scale, complex operations and the operational discipline required to run those operations successfully. And importantly for KGL, and for KGL being based in the Northern Territory, I've spent 17 years at McArthur River Mine in the Northern Territory and 6 years as General Manager of that operation. My most recent role was as COO, or Chief Operating Officer, for the Glencore zinc and copper assets in Australia, which included McArthur River and also the Mount Isa operations and the copper refinery in Townsville. Why have I chosen to join KGL? Well, first and foremost, it's a compelling high-grade copper deposit with really meaningful silver and gold credits. Through all the work by the previous management, the key environmental and operational permits and approvals are in place, and really importantly, the agreements with the native title holders are in place, and they're quite often some of the most complex to agree to, and they've been done fairly and respectfully. It's also very encouraging to see a more supportive government and regulatory environment emerging in the Northern Territory. The government is really keen to see resource developments happening in the Northern Territory. The feasibility study, completed in February 2025, lays out a sensible, staged and practical pathway to operations, starting with a technically simple open pit operations, which will be conducted by reputable contractors to reduce execution risk, and then leading into the underground operations. There's been a lot of drilling done on the Jervois project, over 250 kilometres. So the open pit deposit is well defined, and the first couple of years will be mining predominantly proved reserves, which again reduces the uncertainty. The metallurgy is excellent across the deposit, which then also leads into a relatively straightforward plant design, which is also being conducted by or being engineered by reputable engineering firms, which then leads into a straightforward commissioning process. So finally, what do I bring to the role, and what am I hoping to bring to the role? I live in the Northern Territory. Darwin is home for myself and my family. I've lived up there for a long time. I have a lot of relationships, professional relationships with the businesses that will be needed to support KGL, regulators, non-government organisations, the community in general, and also the government officials, which are incredibly important for this project to succeed. One of the other key aspects of what I think I can bring is bringing the team together and being able to recruit the people that we need for this operation. So with my sort of time working in the Northern Territory and Northern Australia in general, sort of a wide network of contacts to help bring this project to fruition. And through my time, looking after McArthur River, a pretty detailed understanding of the regulatory environment, and also what it means to obtain and then maintain a social licence to operate and to be a good citizen and a good neighbour in the Northern Territory. And I think also importantly, I've worked on a remote mine site. I understand the logistics. I understand the challenges of living on a camp in remote environments. And hopefully I can bring some of those learnings to KGL to perhaps avoid some of the mistakes that I've been involved in the past, and to help KGL progress from a project into a long-term successful operation in the Northern Territory.
Thanks, Sam. A couple of closing remarks. I believe that the investment proposition for KGL is quite compelling. The market cap does not recognise the inherent value of the business at this stage, and the project attributes are significantly a reason to invest in this project. I encourage shareholders and potential investors to clearly place KGL on your watch list and to work with us as we achieve our objectives and we create additional value. And I thank you for your time today.
Thank you.